Hi, this is Becky here with Becky Mat Yoga. This is Polly Dog, she's a golden doodle, and we're going to do our first flow of the day. This will be a rise and revitalize flow. Hope you enjoy. Off you go, girl. Come on. Okay, so first off, you can either take a prop, like a block, a cushion, a bolster. Please moderate as you need. I'm going to use a block. And so we're going to begin the practice in either a cross-legged, a seated, or a kneeling position. I'm going to start on my block here. So settling in, as we know, this platform is called Flow and Grow. And I am definitely growing with you guys at how to use this platform, how to film and edit. And so I'm excited to be on this journey with you. So to settle into the practice, grounding our body, whether that's seated, whether it's on your knees, whether you need to lie down, listen to your body and the cues that it is telling you, and you can moderate throughout the whole practice, please. So settling in, lowering the gaze or closing off the eyes, whatever feels comfortable for you. Connecting to the breath. Not changing it in any way, but often when we focus in on the breath, we tend to slow it down. And so this flow is for a morning wake up, to rise and revitalize. It can be done any time of the day, but it is there to kind of build our energy, to start cracking open the body. And so please be slow with this practice. If you're beginning this in the morning, take your time and ease into the poses and the positions. And please take child's pose or lay down if that's what's needed as well. And as we're grounding and connecting to the breath, slowing things down, I want you to think of a mantra. And a mantra can be a word, it can be a saying, it could be a quote that you would like to follow through your practice today. For me today, I want to be aware of my energy. So waking up and doing this flow, I can quickly go into my to-do list, what's going on for the day, what I'm going to be making for dinner. And so for me, I just want to be aware of that energy. What is coming up? Am I going to a busyness? Am I slowing down? Am I very present? I don't particularly want to judge it. I just want to notice that. And on your next inhale, taking your right ear to your right shoulder. And exhale, bringing it down through center, dropping the chin to the chest. And on your inhale, bringing your ear to the other shoulder. And slowly doing these head and neck rolls. Awakening the body. And connecting to the breath. On your next inhale, lifting the head up to center, rising those arms above your head, big morning stretch. I always have a yawn when I'm here. Circling those wrists, slowly bring those arms back down by your side. And again, lifting that on the inhale. Holding at the top, and exhale, circling those wrists down. We're going to inhale, come above the head again. And we're going to take hold of one of our wrists with the hand, lifting up and out of the body first, and then leaning over to one side. We're going to be looking up at the ceiling or the sky, opening up that chest, cracking open the body in the morning. If you can hear me, you can hear some clicks that are happening. Coming back to center on the inhale, exchanging those hands, lifting up and out of the body before we go over. Perfect. And again, looking underneath that elbow if possible. If this feels uncomfortable for you, please feel free to look at the ground as well. I can ease some of the tension in your neck. If you're looking up, it will really open up that shoulder and the elbow there for you. Coming back to center on that inhale, exhaling, cactus, open those arms. Coming up in that inhale. And again, cactus, open those arms. You can drop the head on that cactus as well, lifting the sternum high to the sky. One more. And opening. And just releasing those shoulders, shaking out any tension, that upper body. Good morning. Okay, perfect. Slowing that down and taking out your block or a prop that you might have had, putting that to the side for now. Please come back to these whenever necessary for you. Moderating is really needed for the body, and listening doesn't mean that it's an easier practice, it just means that it's relative to your body. And we're going to come into all fours position. So coming into all fours, we want our wrists underneath our shoulders, our knees underneath our hips, and there's another crack. And then just window wiping our hips from side to side, patting out those feet, saying hello to our bodies this morning. Okay, and then we're going to slowly go into some cat-cows. So rolling the shoulders down the spine, lifting the chin high to the sky, inhaling up, curving the spine, and on that exhale, bringing the spine up high to the ceiling, curving that body here, emptying the body of that air, exhaling, pushing in and out of the ground, drawing those hands towards the knees, and on your inhale, coming back up. And exhale, coming here. So as you go through your cat-cow, really find the rhythm that meets your body. Your speed and tempo might be different to mine. Your breath will guide this movement. So your inhale coming up to cat, and your exhale coming up to cow. Oh, we just did that backwards. And then taking this movement where it feels necessary for you today. If that feels like you want to stay with the traditional cat-cow, please stay there. And if not, we can kind of barrel through that circle. You might go down into your child's pose, snake all the way through, kind of find what your body needs this morning or today, whenever you're doing this practice. Perfect. Coming back to center on your next inhale. And exhale, finding our neutral position again. On your next inhale, we're going to open up our right arm high to the sky, looking up at that top hand, trying to reach up and away. And on that exhale, we're going to thread the needle. So that arm is going to go in between your leg and your hand. And we're going to thread the needle here. Coming back up again on that inhale. Really opening, cracking open that torso, lifting the shoulder, lifting the hand, looking up at that hand if possible, and curving through. So here you're on your kind of temple and your ear, and on that shoulder of that hand that's gone through. One more time, lifting up and out, and exhale, threading that through. On your
next inhale, coming back to center. And again, just kind of shifting the body side to side, releasing any tension. Coming back to center. And on that next inhale, lifting up. And on that exhale, threading through again. Lifting up. And threading that through. Starting to bring some mobility into the spine in a soft and gentle way before we start guiding our body through any more kind of significant movements. We want to make sure that our spine is ready, that our neck is ready to be able to support the movements that we might be doing later in the practice. And coming back to center. Again, shifting those hips from side to side. Now we're going to push back through one of your legs, so it's going to be my right leg here. I'm going to push back to the ball of my foot, and that weight is going into the ball of the foot, and then I'm rocking forward and releasing some of that tension. For some people, you might want a cushion underneath your knee here, or you can roll up your mat, and we're going to be rocking back and forth. Really pushing into kind of the heel of that back foot, and you're on the ball of the foot, pushing into it, and you should feel it kind of all the way up the back of the leg, especially in the calf. And bringing that back to center, patting out those feet. And again, taking that other leg back, pushing in, coming back forward onto those hands. And I want you to be really aware of where your kind of your torso is in space right now. Be aware that we're activating the abs and that we have a strength within the torso versus coming into it here and dropping in. We want to be really mindful of protecting the spine in these positions. And coming back to center and just pushing it out again. We're going to push our hands forward slightly and push into the balls of our foot, tucking those toes under. And we're going to lift from the bum here, high into the sky, into our downward facing dog. First downward facing dog of the day. So please be kind to yourself, pushing through the feet, pedal through. Do what movements feel good for you right now. For me, I like to shake it out. I have done a lot of booty yoga in the past, if you've ever done that, and this movement has stuck with me to kind of shake out the tension in my hips, in my lower back, and really bring some buoyancy into my legs as well. Can feel a bit strange doing it, but who knows, all these positions can look a bit strange. Okay, and so in our downward dog, really pushing through those hands, through the palm of the hands, and we're kind of guiding the heels down to the ground. They do not need to be anywhere near. For me, I like to have a slight bend in my knees on my downward facing dog so that I can protect my spine here. I have a tendency to hyperextend otherwise. Everybody's poses are going to look different. Just looking after your body, awakening the body. And from here, slowly walking the feet up to the hands. And we're going to take a ragdoll. So we're going to take a hold of either elbows, dropping the head, releasing the tension in the neck, and swinging from side to side. Oh, that feels so good. Connecting to your breath. These moments are really great in a pause to connect back to your mantra. So for me, what energy am I feeling right now? Release the jaw. Releasing tension in the shoulders, and please take as much of a bend in the knees as possible that's needed for you. Releasing the hands here, and we're going to slowly roll up through the spine, so rolling through each vertebra, and the head and shoulders will be last. The shoulders slowly coming up and curling back, and then the head lifting up. Beautiful. Shaking that out slightly. Oh. Okay, I'm going to rearrange my mat. Make sure we're not slipping away. Okay, and then coming up to the top of your mat, lifting the hands above the head here on your inhale, and exhale, bringing them down. So we're going to awakening the body with the breath here a bit. So on this next breath, we're going to come up with our inhale, and on our exhale, we're going to circle the arms down, and we're going to drop down. You might find a bounce at the bottom. So inhaling, coming all the way up, I'll show you from the side, and exhaling, coming all the way down. in your own time. It's okay to make a noise when you breathe. And your last one. And bring those hearts through, hands through to the heart center here. Fantastic. On your next inhale, bring those arms above the head. And on the exhale, have a swan dive down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the ground, and we'll step back into a plank position. Here, you can either go knees, chin and chest all the way down, or you can take a chaturanga if that is in your practice, kind of shifting forward if that feels comfortable for you, tucking those elbows in and dropping down, coming through. Beautiful. For me, in the morning, knees, chin and chest is what I prefer. And what we're going to do is stay in this position. So we're actually going to bring our hands to the outside corners of our mat. And we're going to come through, snaking through our cobras here. So coming up and rolling down through the spine. So lifting those shoulders, lifting the neck, lifting the chin, last snaking through these cobras. Really awakening that upper spine now. And connecting to the lower body at the same time. Making sure we're connecting to our breath here. And releasing down. Bringing the hands back into the chest. And we can either go through all fours up into a downward dog or push up. I'm going to go through all fours and lifting the butt high into the sky. And pedaling through, connecting to the breath and slowly walking those feet back up to the hands and rolling up through the spine. And a bit faster pace in this one, so coming on up. Exhale down. Inhale, halfway left. Exhale, hands to the ground, feet back, knees, chin and chest, or chaturanga. Coming up through our cobra and pushing up into our downwards facing dog. On the next inhale, bending those knees, lifting the butt high and either walking the feet towards the hand or step or jump. Again, halfway lift, releasing down, rolling on up. Inhale, hands above the head. Exhale, hands to heart center. The next inhale, coming on up. Exhale, folding down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands down, feet back. Knees, chin and chest, or chaturanga. Coming through to our cobra and pushing up into our downward facing dog. Bending those knees on your next inhale. Step, jump or hop forward. Halfway lift. Releasing down. Rolling on up. Hands above our head on the inhale. Exhale, hands to heart center. Last one, we've got this. Hands high on the inhale. Exhale, coming all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the ground. Stepping back into your plank position. Chaturanga or knees, chin and chest. Pushing up into your upward facing dog or cobra. Pushing back into your downward facing dog. And relax. Who knew that downward facing dog would feel like a relaxing pose? Okay, taking some breaths here. Connecting back to the breath. Whether that's your ujjayi, whether you would like to breathe through the nose and mouth, your choice of what feels comfortable right now to connect to the body. You can always take child's pose here and rest, take some water, take a drink. One more deep inhale and exhale together. Inhale in. Exhale through the mouth. Sidle out. On our next inhale, we're going to be lifting our right leg up to the sky, bending that over and opening that hip. Great. And here taking some foot circles, some ankle circles both ways. And then also taking the knee in, up and around. I find this so hard. My hips tend to pop and I can never seem to breathe at the same time. But it feels great. And the other way. back up to our three-legged dog on the inhale, and on the exhale, bring that knee towards the nose, lift up, 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 and then stepping it through. Please feel free to help your foot come all the way through. From here, we're gonna lower that back knee. Again, please take a pillow, a block, a cushion, whatever you need to support there. And we're gonna find our alignment first. So I tend to drop into my hips. I was a dancer back in the day, and so my alignment is always thinking kind of back and forward. So bringing this right hip back and my left hip forward on this parallel train track. And lifting the arms above the head on the inhale, and on the exhale, cactus those arms, pushing into that front leg, lifting the sternum high, maybe a slight back bend, and inhale, we're coming out. Exhale, cactus. Inhaling up. Exhale, cactus. One more. Inhale, coming back to neutral. We're going to bring those hands and frame the front foot here. And then we're going to lift our back knee, and we're going to open that right arm up into an easy twist. You can also have the back knee down here, or we can lift it up and open. Again, like before at the beginning of the practice, looking up at that top hand if possible, and opening that shoulder. Try and bring the shoulders away from the ears and elongate the neck. And returning that arm back to frame the foot, lowering that back leg, and we'll take it back into a half split. This position is going to look different for everybody. You may be up here, it may be that you have two blocks here, and for others it might feel comfortable to have both hands to the ground. Some people may have their head to their leg. Please know that wherever you're at is right for your body. And we're going to move forward, coming through to that low lunge, and then pushing back into that half split. Inhaling, coming forward. Your choice of where you would like the arms here. Exhale, going back. Inhale, coming forward. Exhale, coming back. One more time. Exhale, moving that back. Great. And holding here in your half split for a moment more. Coming on forward. Framing that foot, tucking under your back foot, lifting that knee off, taking it into your plank, and pushing up into a downward facing dog. This time, on your next inhale, lifting our left leg high, bending that top knee, and opening up the body. And again, taking those circles through the feet, through the ankles, both ways, and through the knees as well. Every time I go to say it, I dread it. I guess it's my choice if I put it in this or not, eh? Oh, I feel so good there, it's just hard. Alrighty, and bringing that knee through. Lift up, 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 up on that inhale, and stepping it through the hands again. I like to use my hand as a little help to bring that foot through. Lowering the back knee, untucking the toes, lifting up, and again, finding that alignment before we go any further. So just be aware, connecting to the torso, connecting to the abdominals, really looking after the lower back so that we don't just crack forward. And again, on our inhale, we're coming on up. And exhale, pushing forward into that front knee, making sure it's tracking over those toes. And cactus, open those arms. Inhale, we'll come right back up. Exhaling, cactus. Inhaling back up. Exhale, cactus. Inhaling back up, one more time. Exhaling, cactus. Inhaling, coming back into that neutral position. Bring the arms forward, framing that foot, lifting up our back knee, and opening up into that easy twist position. Again, looking upward to the ceiling, opening up the body here, pushing through that back heel, Try not to forget about that back leg. Try and keep the glutes turned on. And everywhere in that back leg I can feel turned on. Lowering that back knee, framing that foot again, and taking it back into a half split. And then moving through our low lunge on the inhale and to our half split on the exhale. Saying hello to our lower body this morning. And one more, coming forward. And coming back. Staying in a half split for another round of breath. And coming on forward, framing that foot, lifting that back knee, stepping back into your plank, and this time taking it through a vinyasa. So either through that chaturanga or knees, chin and chest, pushing through into your cobra or upward facing dog, and pushing back into your downward facing dog. Connecting to the breath here again. And on your next inhale, looking forward through the hands, knees are bending, hips are high, and either step, jump or hop to your hands. Here, taking your halfway lift. Exhale, coming down, and inhale, rolling all the way up again. Taking those hands high, and hands to heart center. This time we're going to take the right leg back and open up so that we're here in a wide leg position. We're actually going to go into goddess. So to set up for goddess, I like to have my feet on a diagonal facing towards the corner of my mat, and my legs are wide. And so you'll know when you start to go down into goddess, which is down here in this position, if you need to shuffle around a bit to be able to kind of get to the depth that you need, or to be able to kind of track over your toes. So find what's comfortable for you. And I say comfortable, it's not the most comfortable position, what feels good in your body. So coming down to goddess, we're going to take our hands onto our knees, or just above the knees. I want to avoid kind of putting weight onto the knees. So on the thighs, just above the knees, hands facing in, and we're just going to push through those shoulders. Again, just finding some really nice juicy movement in the body this morning. Inhaling, coming up, exhaling, coming down. Gosh, that feels great. And again, using this movement how it feels fit in your body. And coming back to center, straightening those legs and shaking off the arms. I like to go into some lunges here, swaying back and forth. Oh. Okay, coming back to center, whoop. And this time coming down into goddess, and we're lifting our hands above the head. And like we were doing earlier in the practice, lifting up and out of the body, taking hold of one of the wrists with the hand and opening up the body here. So it's going to feel really different to when we were sat on our bums. And so if you need to, come out, but try and come back into this position when you feel like you can. Again, we're trying to avoid curving over here. So maybe come out of this position more so that you can open the chin to the ceiling. Coming up with the hands, straightening those knees, and swapping to the other side. Lifting up and out the body, and over we go. Coming down into that goddess. One more round of breath here. Wonderful. Straightening everything up and out. Bringing those hands down and coming down into our goddess. We're going to be taking the hands behind the body this time and lifting them up and behind. And then we're going to come up on the inhale, turning those feet in, and we're going to come on down. For some people, the hands might be more comfortable to let go of and place on the ground, just depending on the depth of the mobility in your shoulders here. For some people, this might feel really comfortable. Our aim here, it's hard to talk upside down. The aim here is to be able to release energy in the head, the neck, and the shoulders, so that we can really let gravity take that weight from us and we can kind of release the tension. If your hands are up and above your shoulders, please release these down to the floor and relax on over. Shaking the head, yes. Shaking the head, no. Ooh, shaking out those shoulders feels great. And on the next inhale, lifting up to a straight back. And exhale, relaxing over again. Inhale, coming back up. Exhale, coming down here. One more time. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, coming back down. We're going to roll on up here. Feels really strange for my knees. And we're going to heel toe those feet in. Probably to just wider than hip width. And from here, we're going to take an inhale with the arms up. And exhale, we're going to come down into our Malasana. So Malasana is our yogic squat. This is a very deep position, and please use props. I like a lot of the times to put a block underneath my bum and to sit back on it, especially in the mornings. If your heels are off the ground, that is completely fine. It may just be uncomfortable for you to be in this position for a long time, so please support that distance with some props if you have them available. Connecting to the breath, rolling those shoulders down the spine, using the elbows to guide those knees out, the hips out. And on your next inhale, kind of bringing the weight up and out of the body. And on the next exhale, we're going to lean over to one side, opening up that body again. I'm going to be so open by the end of this. Inhale, coming back to center. Exhale, coming to the other side. For those of you who have a bind in your practice, when going to the other side again, please feel free to take this. This will be wrapping the arm around the shin, connecting with the other hand behind the back, and looking up at the sky. Relaxing back down on the inhale. Exhale, coming to that final side. Again, taking that bind if it's in your practice. For some people, looking down feels more comfortable as well. Coming back to center on the inhale and sitting down on our bums. Finally. Okay. We're not quite there yet. Sitting down on our bums. We're going to guide those feet up into Anavasana back pose. So for some people, this will look like here. This could look here. It could be with the arms out. And for those who have it in their practice, it may be here. I can just about hold it. And then I need to come back. You don't want to see that. Okay, so wherever that is for you, taking this pose, and we're going to come to one side and to the other side for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, connecting to the abdominals, lifting that sternum high. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, we're done. Holding and hugging those legs, tucking the chin into the chest. I need to give my knees a good kiss to say thank you. And then placing the feet down on the mat, holding and stretching out those arms in front of us. And we're going to roll down the spine back to the mat. We're going to take this slowly, okay? Try and match my pace here. So we get about halfway. We're going to lift an inch. We're going to go back down and lift another inch. Coming back down, those feet are flat on the ground. Tucking that chin into the chest up a bit. And relaxing all the way down. Oh, stretching those arms above the body. Oh, beautiful. Bring those knees into the chest. Adjusting what you need to do to be comfortable here. And we're going to take the knees from side to side, just rocking back and forth, forward and back. Getting into that lower spine now. So we've been working through the neck, through the shoulders, the upper spine, the mid-back, the lower back. We went into the legs in our goddess and in our poses down on the ground. And now we're starting to kind of release into the hips. So we're making these circles. I like to put the palms of my hands on my knees and guide them out and in, making one big circle on either side. And then we'll go the other way. Beautiful, bring those legs back into center, lifting them above the head and just shaking them out. Oh, lifting the hands, shaking that. Get a good shake through all the limbs. Hello, Wednesday. And bringing them back in. Taking holds of the outsides of the feet, outside of the arch of the foot, and coming into a happy baby. And so you may want to rock from side to side here. You might want to straighten one leg and then the other. Some people might want to straighten both legs and coming back together. Take what you need right now. All the way through the spine. You should be feeling that to your tailbone. Bringing those legs back in, feet planted on the ground. And then we are going to kind of touch the ankles with your hands, setting up for a bridge pose. So a half bridge. Again, please feel free, if it's first thing in the morning for you, to take a block for this position if you like as well. Take it more of a restorative position. That's what I'm going to be doing. And so setting up for this, we want our feet hip width apart. We want to be able to kind of just glide the heels with our fingertips. And then we're going to plant those fingertips and the palms onto the ground. We're going to push through the feet, lifting the hips high in that inhale, clasping those hands underneath the body and kind of bringing the shoulders up and under the spine here, tucking that chin to the chest to protect the neck. And I want you to think about having a block between your knees so that we're not kind of splaying out the legs and harming the knees in that way and the hips. But we're kind of keeping them on this kind of parallel train track again. For those of you who want a more restorative position, you can take a block at whatever height feels comfortable for you and allow the spine to rest on that. If you're in your bridge, you can come on down, taking one round of breath and pushing back up to a half bridge again. For those of you who have wheel in their practice, you can take this position here as well. So for those of you who are familiar, we're going to be tucking the palms behind the ears, facing the hands the other way, and pushing into the hands and the feet here. Maybe coming up halfway onto the crown of the head, and then pushing all the way up. Taking a few rounds of breath here if you are up in that wheel. And for everybody else, slowly going vertebrae through vertebrae down onto your back here. Again, counter pose, hugging into the knees, giving them a good hug, releasing any tension in the back. And everybody coming on down now. And to finish off, taking a supine twist. So taking our left leg long, bringing the right leg into our torso here, and bringing it across the body. And so this right arm could be out straight, it could be in a cactus position, whatever you have room for or feels comfortable. And take whatever variation of a supine twist you need here. That might be keeping that back leg, that left leg long and straight. It could be kind of tucking, what am I doing here? The right foot over the left knee. That would be correct. Closing off the eyes or lowering the gaze here. Whatever feels safe for you. Starting to connect back into the body, slowing the breath, slowing the mind. And your next inhale, coming back to center, Planting the feet on the ground and window wiping those knees from side to side. Releasing tension in the lower back and in the hips. And then coming back, those knees up on the torso. And this time, your right leg will go long and straight, and your left leg is going to come and over the torso. And you can take the gaze the other way, trying to have both shoulders guiding their way down to the ground. And coming back up to center. Again, window wiping those knees from side to side. And then taking any final positions, poses, breath work that you would like to take. I'm going to go down into a Shavasana, so you're welcome to join me here immediately. Or taking whatever you need, whether that's legs above the head, maybe a plow pose if you want to take any inversions. What is your body still needing for you right now in this space? And then in your own time, coming down into Shavasana, laying the torso, the limbs, the head, the neck, the feet, the hands on the ground. Allowing the breath to come back to its normal rhythm. Again, lowering the gaze or closing the eyes off. And again, remembering your mantra that you said at the beginning of the practice. Maybe it still feels fitting. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe you want to take it through your day to day. Just allow it to sit there. And please feel free to stay here if you have the time to do so and you would like to. For those who would like to close up the practice, you can either stay here to close it off, or you can come up to a seated position, into the fetal position. Slowly coming up, taking your time, if that's what you're doing. I'm going to come up into a seated position. Let's take one last breath together. Breathing in and out. Taking hands to your heart center. Recognizing that you showed up on your mat today, that you showed up for yourself today, and that you gave yourself this time. Thank you. Thank you for joining my practice. Thank you for joining my first ever recorded practice and being on this journey with me, for your patience, for your kindness, for your courage of being here. And thank you to all the yoga teachers before me, to the lineage of yoga, to the practice of yoga, the asana, the breath work, all of it. We're so lucky to be on our mats today, enjoying this practice and learning together. Thank you. Bye-bye.